guys, it's Rachel here. So I'm guessing you came to this video because you're cramming for an audition or for a performance to memorize. Yeah, it happens to all of us. Do not fear, today I'm going to tell you how to memorize lines, so whether that's a script, a monologue, whatever, in 24 hours, so super fast. So a while ago I found an article from Backstage.com which basically gave tips from experts about how to memorize fast. It gave tips from May Ross, and she says how all actors have different learning styles. So some are visual, some learn by hearing, most learn by doing, and some are tactile learners, like by writing stuff down. So obviously I have tips that I have learned over the years that definitely work for me when cramming for an audition or something, but I am going to try to cover all of the kinds of learning in this video, so hopefully everyone can relate, everyone can find a tip that works for them. I also have an old video that goes in detail over multiple types if you would like to check that out. Since I will just basically be focusing on how to cram in this video, I will leave that link in the description. I want to thank Backstage so much for sponsoring this video. Honestly, I was so honored when they reached out to me because I have talked about Backstage so many times on my channel. You guys know I thrive about it. I've actually been able to use it so much at school, at my college, because I want to become a casting director, so I actually use it to cast all of my projects at school. And it has been so helpful to me to like reach out to people from all kinds of different locations for one little project. It truly shows to me like such a community of so many people that are really working hard in this field. Backstage is the world's largest trusted casting platform for actors, singers, dancers, performers. And obviously I see comments all the time asking how to find auditions without an agent. And Backstage is a huge way to do that. So Backstage is so amazing, and they're offering a 30-day free trial for all new users. So check in the video description right at the top for a link that you can go to get this free 30-day trial. I genuinely love this company so much. I would not talk about it if I didn't. And that is such a great opportunity for everyone to get 30-day free trials. Yes, we're getting out there. So the first tip that I have for you guys is to relax. I know this may sound hard in this form of struggle, this form of stress that you're going through, but it is going to be okay. I have been in this spot so many times, as has every other actor. You know, whether you're trying to learn lines for a school performance or for an audition or for a play that you're about to perform tomorrow, it is what it is. You can only do so much, and stressing about it won't help. So just relax. That's why I'm here. I'm going to try to help you out, so don't worry. Alright, so my second tip is to read. Prior to memorizing, read the script at least once time through. Make sure you engulf yourself in the story so that you can memorize it better, so you know what's going on. Nobody becomes a character by simply knowing words. It's the meaning behind the words that can make the world of a difference. So I have said before in a video, make sure you know the words so that you don't have to worry about them when you're in your audition, so you can worry about everything else. But in this kind of cramming situation, why don't you just learn the words while you're learning everything else? It makes it so much easier just to engulf yourself in everything that the character is, and that helps the lines come so much easier. I promise that it's worth your time to give any material that you have a good read through. It helps so much. I learned this the hard way, but it helps so much. Alright, so my third tip for you guys is to make sure that you know your character's objective. Basically, an objective is what your character wants, what they're striving towards. I've made a whole video about this that hopefully makes it so much less confusing, so if you want to learn how to find your objective and how to apply it, I will link that video down below as well. But objectives are so crucial, and they're so helpful at knowing why you're saying the lines that you are, because that's what you're reaching towards. And knowing your character's intentions, which is what they do to get their objective, is also important. So every word has a meaning behind it. Your character just doesn't say something to say it, you know what I mean? And also it's important to know your obstacles, so what your character is facing to get to those objectives. I also talk about those two in my video as well, but those character building traits are so important with understanding why you're saying what you are. Like I said, reading lines isn't just saying words. It's so much more. It's about character development and emotional triggers. This is the kind of stuff that is going to get you to that level, and that is a part of memorization, and really selling yourself in an audition or in a performance is all of that combined. Alright, so I know I've talked a lot about characterization and all that, and it is so important. I promise it'll help help so much. So a huge technique that I recommend for memorization is the read, repeat, and combine technique. This technique has always worked best for me. It just helps me know everything in the order that it goes. So basically what you do with this technique is you read a line, you memorize one line. So say it's something like, let me pull out my monologue book. Say it's something like, I have done about 4,003,000 dishes in my lifetime. That's the first line. I have done about 4,003,000 dishes in my lifetime. So I have read that line, I have memorized that line, and I have repeated that line. Now it's time to combine. So the next line is, give or take a few. You see, lucky me. Give or take a few. You see, lucky me. Give or take a few. You see, lucky me. So that is the second line. So now I have to combine the first line and the second line. If you just memorize each line by line and never put it together, you're gonna be so confused. I've done that before. You know, you just focus on one line and you wanna get that, but then you try to go through the whole script and you don't know how it all fits together because you've only learned the lines separately. So this really helps me kind of map it out and learn it as one whole rather than a lot of separate lines. So let me try it. I have done about 4,003,000 dishes in my lifetime. Give or take a few. You see, lucky me. This is just give or take a few from 100 Monologues for Girls, if you were wondering. But the difficult thing about that technique with a script, like where you have lines with a scene partner, is being able to know when your scene partner's lines are, because you're obviously combining all of your lines, and that's great that you know the order, but you also have to know the scene partner's lines to know when you come in. And it obviously is very important to know your scene partner's lines because you want to know your cues. You want to be on top of that. So I have some recommendations on how to do just that. So for my tactile learners that like to write things down, do something like this where you can basically split the paper in half. Bad line, but bear with me. This is a way to really quiz yourself once you think you have your lines down, because what you can do is write all of your cue lines on this side and then write what your lines are over here. Also, I have never used this technique before, so I can't really attest to it, but I saw a video on YouTube about it a while back, so I will link it down below. But it's basically like writing down the first letter of every word in that line. So say my line was, I want to eat pickles today. So I would put I for I, and then W for want, T for to, E for eat, P for pickles, and then T for today. So basically I could study this and try to remember slowly, I want to eat pickles today. But that might be a way to learn it. Just write down all the letters of each line, and hopefully you'll be able to kind of map it out. So if you are a learner by hearing and you have a script, I would recommend definitely going over the script with a friend if you can. Getting somebody to read the lines will help so much rather than just going through it in your own head. It really helps you to be able to develop those characterizations when you have somebody to play off of. Even though it may not be your scene partner, you can kind of get more emotional that way, be able to emotionally attach to what that character is, who they are. But if you don't have somebody there to read with within these next 24 hours that you're learning this, you can even do something on your phone where you like record the other person's lines. Obviously this isn't going to be exact because your timing could be off and stuff, but it can definitely be helpful so that you can hear those cue lines and be able to say your lines in return. Or there's also apps. I've heard of the rehearsal app being really cool. I haven't tried it, but I think it's basically that kind of process where you can enter the scene partner's lines and somehow be able to go through them. And just in general, for all of my visual learners trying to memorize a script quickly, sometimes it may be helpful to associate lines with images in your head. It was really confusing at first when I learned about this method, but I found a video that really helps to explain it. It is by Ronnie White here on YouTube. It's basically where you have a line and you're able to associate pictures in your mind with that line. So he mentioned like different viewpoints of like a room could represent like different images. So like say I needed to memorize my line about pickles, I like pickles, and when I would look at this side of the room, maybe I could associate like my sweater that I see over there with a pickle, and then I remember I like pickles. I know it's kind of hard to wrap your mind around, but if you've done this kind of memorizing before or this kind of learning, you may be able to grasp onto this very quickly, and I recommend watching that video if you're interested in learning more about that. So that is basically all I have for you in this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope that I gave some tips that will help you out at memorizing quickly. So if you did like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below with any video requests that you have, any questions, anything. I will answer it in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel for weekly acting videos, sometimes random videos. I'm gonna be posting so much more in the summertime. I can't even tell you. I have so much amazing content. I'm so excited. So make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss it. Oh, and also click that little bell notification button if you want to. That way you get notified when I post my videos. I never say that, but it definitely helps. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you want to. And make sure you check out Backstage. Get that 30-day free trial. Yay. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! I booked an acting job! Ah, super exciting. So today I actually kind of wanted to just do a vlog style format of me getting ready for this acting gig. Just like basically showing you like the day before, the day of, like what I do to kind of like mentally prepare and physically prepare for a job.